stories firmed up. He knows the rat has sloppy craftsmanship. I'll just go ask her to tell Goldenfold not to kill us when she wakes up. Whoa, Morty! Think he came up with it. I'm entertained, mind you, but it seems to be going against the rules.
Know one thing for sure. I'm giving Morty an A in math.
That's great, but what is the white Mr. Goldenfold shirt? Since all he has are all weakness. They shouldn't do this thing without a dog playing poker, I think.
Well, at least I didn't really crap my pants. No, that happened before you went to sleep, Morty. You're sleeping in your crap right now. Wait, was that even something that happened?
I don't remember Morty saying he grabbed his pants at any time in this episode until then, like it's something he was supposed to be aware of. Sounds like he just wanted to warm up a little bit, Joe.
It's pretty bad, Emperor Snowball. We're gonna need to do another operation.
If Snowball Snubbles is so smart, then clearly he knows he's right behind dog wheels. I see dogs walking out of an animal shelter into a war to some other dimension. Is this supposed to be all dogs? Or just the ones in Morty's town? Also, this puts the onus on the series to never show dogs in this world ever again. I could just sit Holiday inflatables. Seriously, how did that become a thing? But it's much easier to sit the fact that you put Rudolph right in the middle of your driveway. Also, you shovel an immaculate path to the sidewalk, but only half of your driveway. What are you, monsters?
And the stocking summer all towards this one.
A teenager carrying off Facebook. You're adorable 2013. Also, Facebook. This is a mirror. Bottom of the stairs was the goal to check your appearance and block traffic. Okay, look, I know the show's going for a good joke here, but those are really good bullets, so I'll make it work.
Hold your breath until the process is over or your lungs will collapse.
And when he doesn't, man, he was
Hey, Dad, where's Morty?
she's busy. Yeah, great job.
Welcome to Anatomy Park.
Anatomy Park train is only one small entrance exit to a train with 3 cars. Man, what the hell is up with these stairs with no rails that lead near something to the wall? I love details like a part of bus sliding your body your back. Customers affected by it. And if the park has been open this whole time, in the bar in the Smith House without anyone seeing it, figuring out where the hell.
This seems right here. Don't agree to have a theme park built inside you if your life's going great.
Why is this saying not a t-shirt? Colors in the middle section should be reversed. Unless, of course, these are potential grid arrows pointing down to an entirely different type of Christmas cheer.
I watch them, sometimes from a chair, sometimes from a closet, almost always dressed as Superman.
Cut Kemp.
Nearly all human lungs contain a strain of these bacteria, but the scar tissue keeps them dormant.
The scar tissue's already been tampered with. Why did the tuberculosis wait until Colonel Oliver said something about it to attack?
What is that horrible smell?
It must be your own breath, because you're breathing air from inside your helmet from the attached air supply. So smell really shouldn't be an issue.
Keep your eye on Annie. She was written up several times by her manager at the churro stand.
Later on, Annie will say,
Actually, I studied Dr. Bloom's work.
so is she really up to she was comfortably in Dr. Bloom's lab learning everything? Like someone who was allowed to study and work with the main boss wouldn't be stuck at the churro stand getting written up for whatever reason. This also seems to indicate that the park was open. Still haven't gotten a definitive answer on that.
It's a road and one clear a trail of it's a path, rain and rain, up the path.
Rhyming food was good.
Gonorrhea can't see us if we don't move. Wait, I was wrong. I was thinking of T-Rex.
Why the would you be thinking of the goddamn T-Rex? Because of the movie Jurassic Park that you're referencing throughout the episode? Like dinosaurs and infectious diseases are in any way related enough to confuse the two?
If it works, we'll be regular sized in a few minutes.
You mean there's a growth ray inside Ruben? This guy jokes about Ruben not being in a room with white carpet or upholstery, and good for the show for thinking of the gnarly aftermath of such a road. But it seems like in a world of impossible science, they have found a way to escape without the grisly measure.
That's bubonic plague.
So, a couple questions here. First, why did you keep the Roman free and you had this plan to sell bubonic plague to the highest bidder, wouldn't you have a container to put it in? Second, why the hell was the bubonic plague inside Ruben? What the hell? I'm sorry, does the grandfather really think that his wife and Jacob are going to have have sex right now on the couch, while his granddaughter and her boyfriend make out in the same room?
The aristocrats.
Also, if these cars are collapse over the division like this, or even at all,
Would you like to ride the bone train?
Why are you doing this bit? We're gonna die.
Morty would be reporting at TV6.
What the hell is that?
E. coli outbreak.
Is it though? Because those are clearly bacteriophage viruses. And E. coli is a type of bacteria, not a virus.
Suck my fat neurology expertise, Rickwads.
Would this fuse continue being football in space? My guess is no, but I should probably send myself or even thinking about it when it comes to an episode about an amusement park inside of a homeless pit.
Reports from all over the country have been coming in about what appears to be a giant naked man over the continental United States.
How fast did those reports come in exactly? Like just kicked him out of the spaceship and launched in like 3 seconds? I'm pretty sure that dynamite would have exploded before any news outlets had the chance to make their detailed naked guy graphic overlays. I guess I'm gonna have to be that guy and point out that Berlin is now the size of the entire continental US, so his space should be covering way more area than a city block.
The nipple hole. It's beautiful.
Agreed, but I have to ask, is the even gravity bound in inner space is going to outer space? What the f? When the bone train went off the rails, hepatitis A was looking at it go past him and crash into this nipple area. Even if he jumped to grab the train, how would he have gotten inside in the time it took for the train to crash?
It's hepatitis C!
Did we have some sort of relationship with him?
I think they're just like that. I think they're just good guys.
Wouldn't this light, this rough picture show the golf ball actually hits rough rather than on the green with all this?
Actually, I studied Dr. Bloom's work. I believe I have the knowledge necessary to create an entirely new, much safer park.
Jurassic World. That's it. That's the sin. That's Atari 2600 Donkey Kong sounds coming from these 2013 devices. It's time to upgrade our gadget noises, Hollywood.
This is just sloppy craftsmanship.
Rick would be excellent at biology since. Also, dissecting a room with the garage door open.
What's with Mom? So you're saying that she's acting weird?
On a good day, everyone acts weird in the world of Rick and Morty, yet still I have to ask, why is Rick digging in this rat? This isn't a simulation. He knows the rat has
Sloppy craftsmanship.
So what is he looking for? He doesn't need any more proof. Celebrating Matt. Also wearing an orange shirt and gray tie with a yellow sweater.
Interesting.
While peeking into a child's classroom window as an adult. Also, since Rick knows Morty is a simulation, why is he going through this charade at the school? Rick would immediately be getting the Nigerians to show their hands so he could plan his escape.
If you tell us, I'll be your girlfriend.
You will?
Seems like a rare opportunity, Morty.
Simulation or not, soliciting sex from a student for driving purposes will always be a sin.
Take a shower with me, Morty. What?
In times like these, I wonder how the writers begin their creative process. Does it start with, let's put child nudity in this one? Do they have a jar containing tiny strips of paper with random bullshit suggestions aimed at making everyone incredibly uncomfortable, and at the start of their brainstorm, they grab several and slap them together? Why is this theme?
Lucky for us, they're also really uncomfortable with nudity.
I just want to know how Rick knew the location of the school showers in the first place. Why go through all the trouble of animating a split-second peek into the locker room and not put anything interesting in it at all?
Something is drawing a lot of processing power.
You have more important things to worry about, alien scum. These fans aren't dealing with computers properly. They're limping along, sort of teeter-tottering back and forth, and before long, your CPUs will overheat. It's a real problem. Trimming your nose hair while driving. I'm not sure that I can ask this question without breaking my own brain, but here goes. Why is Jerry separated from Rick from the start? They're both inside the same simulation, and the aliens are surprised that they've got another human. They're literally looking down on a massive simulation with 2 simultaneous simulations happening within it. There should be no surprise that Jerry's here at all. Are the writers hoping to avoid revealing the twist to us, the viewers? Or are the aliens purposely zooming out on Jerry's inner simulation to Rick's inner simulation, forgetting what is real at all? Are we in the simulation too?
Keep your hands off your ding-dong. It's the only way we can speak freely.
Because, for some reason, the aliens are unable to simply listen to the conversation. They must look and listen.
National Apple Farmers of America. Welcome to our ad agency.
But how would the Nigerians know this much detail about Jerry's workday when they didn't even mean to nab him? And on top of that, they only have a simulation operating at 0.5% capacity.
Simple question, gentlemen.
Assuming gender. This scene just reminds me that Dave Ramsey has forever tainted the beauty that is Baker Street. King Dave Ramsey.
All is forgiven because right now I've got an erection the size of an East Coast lighthouse. Hey! I'm going to make love to my wife!
How big does Jerry think lighthouses are? Because I'm not even seeing evidence that a pub tent has been pitched.
Morty, relax. It's just a bunch of ones and zeros out there.
Binary code shaming. Leaving your car door open. Is sex really worth giving someone the opportunity to steal your car or running the battery down? Actually, yeah, I guess it is. But for the principle of the matter, I'm still excited. Making out with dead skin cells excreted from a scalp. I would definitely be onto the simulation after seeing this. Everyone knows yellow Pop-Tarts can't jump. Deep-pantsing a child rather than yourself. Pop-Tart square pants. Moments ago, they're running through an alien spaceship, and quite suddenly, they're racing through another planet. We don't care about Plutonians. We care about why Jerry's here at all. Moments ago, they're running through an alien spaceship, and quite suddenly, they're racing on the moon. We don't care about the moon landing. We care about why the Plutonians are here at all.
Man up, Jerry. I mean, you should have worked the lasers.
Putting Jerry in charge of the lasers. Doors are closing and time is running out. The protagonist's spaceship makes it out just in time. Cliche. Oh, because shooting at the person you want to steal information from is a great idea. And yes, this is a simulation inside a simulation inside a simulation. But the darkness of it still matters.
You simulated my grandson's genitalia?
You looked at your grandson's simulated genitalia.
You win. Can we go home now?
I don't know. Can you?
Grammar Police. Sure, we do too, but we actually spent 5 years at Grammar Police Academy to get our certification. Up until now, I had to brush off my frustration with English appearing in the alien spaceship. Clearly, they have their own language. We see it here and here. So when the signs were in English or the doors were labeled, I had to brush it off that this was a simulation and meant to continue to deceive Rick. But now, here in this moment before extinction, there is no reason for "we did it" to appear on the screens for our benefit. Also, there is no reason for this mixture to be combined at the helm of the ship during an office party when there are plenty of labs up in this ship. Also, Rick and Jerry survived this. Waggling your tongue when you really don't need to.
Morty, I already told you, it's not your family.
Sure, but can we talk about what they're trying to do? Because not Jerry seems to have you well in his grip and able to kill you easily, but is just standing there waiting for this scene that's just an excuse to justify a title sequence clip to end. Why would this facility, as part of its infrastructure, have a button that remotely controls this Ghostbusters-style trap that Rick had in his hand? Isn't that something he just brought to the adventure?
We make a request, the V6 fulfills the request, and then it stops existing.
Rick, knowing about this Me-6 box, makes so many of his previous decisions in this show completely unnecessary. As disposable as these beings are, why wouldn't he use them as at least an extra pair of hands to complete all his adventure with Morty?
I'm Mr. Beastie.
I want to be popular at school.
Ooh, okay.
This Me-6 shtick is really a way to play with the be careful what you wish for trope, but in a world where the genie allows you to wish for infinite wishes. God, the show's just the best.
This village is terribly poor, yet the giant that lives in the clouds above has untold treasures.
Jeff Bezos. Also, this world not only happens to have the Jack of the Beanstalk story from our Earth and its reality, but R&M also just happened to land in the village where he lives. Just a reminder that even the most brilliant shows need some little blue convenience pills once in a while to keep their stories firmed up.
In conclusion, a friendship is never smooth, but valuable and enriching experience of your young life.
Mr. B6 was able to call an assembly at Summer's school just to say great things about her so that she'd be popular. And it looks like the entire school is on board with a magical blue what's-it they've never seen before in his pro-summer message. Also, holy hell, what kind of acid trip was the designer of this basketball hoop on? Key area, or free throw dick, as it's more commonly called, is completely out of proportion and reaches almost a half court, which would be fine, except the other half of that court appears to be more like a third of the court and doesn't even seem to have any markings. Plus, that far hoop, which is clearly not retracted and should be at the standard 10 feet, has to be at least 20 feet off the ground based on the scale of the bleachers underneath it. And speaking of those bleachers, why are they behind the podium when all the space in front of the podium is available? And how did they even get them there? They clearly don't fold in, so did they move this here in one piece? This is a gymnasium of lies. I know Jerry is a dim-witted sad sack, but wouldn't shaving 2 strokes off his golf game suggest that he's somewhat competent in golf? If the guy can't even hit the ball off the tee, then isn't the real request to shave 1,000 strokes off his golf game?
Let me try something.
Why'd they bring the Me-6 box with them on the golf course? Did they expect to need extra Mr. Me-6 during this tutorial?
Can you help me get 2 strokes off of Jerry's golf swing?
But if the Me-6 are aware of their own process and abilities enough to call other Me-6 to help with what I asked them to do, wouldn't that impact their perspective on their own purpose in a way that negates my original request? I guess what I'm asking is, how many Seeks would Me-6 seek if a Me-6 could seek me? Are Rick and Morty from a Spider-Verse? Because I don't know how you climb a mostly flat surface like that without a little accidental radioactive spider venom.
Me-6 don't usually have to exist this long. It's getting weird.
How does he even know this? I've about had it with the Discount Blue Man Group's existential paradoxes.
Here we are, walking down the courthouse steps.
Why would the courthouse steps lead all the way down to the non-giant world below? Wouldn't the steps of the giant court lead to other places where the giants regularly go? Also, did everyone else in the courts just stay inside? Was the Rick and Morty trial the undercard to a much more important trial? Why did Jerry bring everybody back to the house for his lesson? How are you supposed to learn this inside a living room? Was he trying to hit a ball inside his house? Was he just trying to swing the club? Because I'm pretty sure he succeeded at the second thing, but what do I know? Tennis confusion. What happened to Beth's new hair? She had a new style a minute ago and now looks like the old Beth.
Why did you even rope me into this? Because he roped me into
tiring process.
Well, what do you know? Look down there. Looks like some kind of tavern or something.
The thirsty step. I mean, the 12th step was sitting right there.
Stop fighting. Let's let this happen.
Holy my surrealist sci-fi comedy show just went super dark. The writers have even said they wanted the scene to reflect the trauma of assault and not be funny at all. But here's my question. Is this really a place? I'm all for victim sensitivity. That seems to me the most sensitive thing to do would be to not unexpectedly reference real-life trauma in a place where most wouldn't be expecting to have to deal with it. These Meeseeks are never given verbal instructions. Are we changing the rules so that they can just intuit what their purpose is now? We heard Jerry leave the house when he told the Meeseeks.
At this point, my golf swing is more your problem than mine.
And he was wearing the green golf shirt, but now he's in a suit. But wait, neither Jerry nor Beth told the Meeseeks where they were going for dinner, so maybe after Jerry left, he went upstairs to get dressed and came back down and told the Meeseeks where they were going, but why did he clearly go outside after telling them that? There's only one door in the living room that would open and close, and it goes outside.
Come on, Rick! Quit stalling! What do you got?
Wait a minute, wait.
Rick slow rolls the stairful. Rick roll? At this point, I'm kind of wondering how the Thirsty Step stays in business. The location is awful. Most of its customers couldn't possibly make it up here easily. So we're just saying hitting a tomato with a metal shelving bar into a large pot about 10 feet away is equivalent to improving your golf game 2 strokes. Well, okay, Jesus. I didn't know the Meeseeks had such a huge arsenal. Did they knock off a gun store on the way to the restaurant, or did the Smiths have a hidden gun room?
I'm a bit of a stickler, Meeseeks. What about your short game?
And yet more proof that the Meeseeks get to decide when their purpose has been fulfilled, meaning they could have bailed at any point, and the entire premise of this episode is null and void. And now that I've been this much of a pedantic asshole, I can disappear. Also, the literal request was to shave 2 strokes off of his game, and Jerry got more than that by merely learning how to drive the ball. So go f*** yourself, stickler Meeseeks. Your job is technically done.
Jerry, look, we don't have a perfect marriage, but I'm not going anywhere.
Define anyway.
See you next week, everybody.
The 4th wall is my least favorite wall, yet I'm sad somehow every time it gets broken. The mysteries of the heart confound us.
Letting Jerry help Morty with homework.
I don't know how many times I have to say this, but if you have the flu, stay home.
Does he mean stay home and don't go to the dance, or stay home and don't go to school? Because you shouldn't be at school if you have the flu. If you're not at school, how would you hear this announcement? Why is this announcement? Also, episode of cartoon from 2014 predicts how selfish humans are when it comes to protecting others from a rampaging virus.
The flu season dance is about awareness, not celebration. You don't bring dead babies to Passover.
Well, someone's not getting invited to my Passover celebration. Hey, wait a minute. Where did Jessica's friends go?
Yeah, try not to worry about it, Morty. You're a good kid.
Is he, though? In this episode alone, he asks Rick to help him essentially roofie Jessica, so I think a little more honest parenting is in order, Jerry. What the shit was the purple meat on Jerry's sandwich?
Well, I remember feeling that way about a young lady named your mom. And it's not an urban diss.
But it works so much better as an urban diss. In fact, that's a pretty epic your mom joke that he just ruined. Hey, Jerry, we have ice. We have no ice. Rick is addicted to carbonated sodas. Wait a minute. Did Rick go into the kitchen to get orange juice? Does Rick seem like the kind of guy who drinks orange juice without adding the vodka?
Yeah, I'm just going to check on your mom.
And apparently leave out the mustard, mayo, an open orange juice pitcher, and an unstarted sandwich. Do you want food poisoning, Jerry? Because this is how you get food poisoning, Jerry. Man dance?
A hair, Morty. I need one of your hairs. This isn't Game of Thrones.
My favorite part of every episode of Game of Thrones was when the CSI team came in and solved the case. There's a calculator of some sort on the right side of this love potion making machine here, but when it cuts to the wide shot, the calculator is on the left side of the spout. Your continuity errors will be the death of you, Rick and Morty. Jeez, did this brat kid go to the dance in his usual high school attire, just adding a tie? It's actually pretty funny, but I'm sending it anyway. Not that this is the point, but shouldn't Brad already have the flu, considering Jessica was already sneezing at school today, and he ran right into her sneeze mist earlier? Brad got sick immediately. Is that how the flu works?
How come you're not at this stupid dance everyone loves so much?
Screw that. I don't want to get sick.
So, wait, Summer, are you saying you're backing out of our trip to South Dakota? Cartoon dry humping.
Jessica, get a hold of yourself!
The flu love potion combo, which made Brad sick in seconds, should already be running rampant through this gym, considering it was in the punch and the air conditioning. But it waits until someone scolds Jessica before taking over the entire school. Still being proud of a swimming championship nearly 100 years later.
Whipped up an antidote. It's based on praying mantis DNA. They mate once and then they, decapitate the partner.
Science.
Basically mixed into the more contagious flu virus.
Why did you need to mix it with the flu virus when everybody in school already has the flu?
These serums, they don't work on anybody really attention at.
I mean, thank God, but that still is a serum of the highest convenience.
What do they love to?
How did these losers even get to their jobs if they were obsessed Morty-loving praying mantis creatures? Also, where did they get a picture of Morty that quickly? It's almost creepier than the love potion. How has this virus already spread to other countries? The news station was hard enough to buy, but at least it was potentially local. And this is going to be an issue for the rest of the episode, so instead of bringing it up several more times, I'll just add 10 cents here. Wait, so everyone knows where Morty lives all of a sudden? What the heck? Is that a Morty doll? How did they manufacture that?
Well, I'm glad we saved all those horses.
Why? Did you short the glue industry? How did the Flu Mantis concoction get all the way out to the horse hospital? Have people been drive-by sneezing around this place?
I'm Mr. Crowbar, and this is my friend, who is also a crowbar.
I can't imagine a world where Jerry actually deserves a send-off, but I'm giving him one regardless. If people from other countries are whiffing the antidote already, wouldn't they have a period of time when they turn back to normal before morphing into these abominations? It's what happened to everyone else. How did this guy's underwear stay on and be intact throughout all these transformations? Here's another thing. Rick made the love potion for Morty using his DNA, and that's why his family wasn't affected. But he made the Mantis potion in the Every Animal on Earth potion without Morty's DNA. So why aren't they also turning into trauma creatures right now?
Hold on.
Mad Jerry, Fury Road. Mad Max Jerry Road? Furious Jerry Maximum Mad? Max and Furious presents Rhodes and Shaw? Is there any reason for Beth and Jerry to get out of the car and fight these things? They were doing just fine running over all of them. What's the goal of coming out to purposely kill these things other than to pad this episode's runtime?
Boy, Morty, I really Cronenberged the world up, didn't I?
Don't be so hard on yourself, Rick. The world doesn't look too much like a butterfly.
Here, Morty, put this on while I do a little bit of scouting.
Why does Morty need to wear this thing while Rick does his scouting? What computer works just because someone's wearing a backpack apparatus? Okay, so we're about to find out that this is one of the infinite realities that original Rick found, where a parallel universe Rick was able to get everything back to normal. And the Rick and Morty we see here are not the original Rick and Morty team, which is what the show wants you to think. So why is this universe's Rick and Morty just now getting back to the house after a newspaper was published explaining how everything went back to normal?
The answer is don't think about it. It's not like we can do this every week anyways. We get 3 or 4 more of these tops.
Yeah, but that violates the CinemaSins and therefore TV Sins charter, where we were told to think too deeply about it. It's too convenient. Yes, you don't follow the same rules, and you definitely shouldn't because nothing creative would ever get made, but that doesn't mean that we're not sitting you for this replace the dead Rick and Morty in a different universe bit. I've grown super fond of the original Summer Beth and Jerry. Now I'm gonna have to be cool with exact replicas with no differences whatsoever? You owe us an apology. Also, you only get 3 or 4 more of these tops? Has Rick ever watched anything on network television? Leaving the refrigerator door open.
He's got lifeless eyes. Black eyes like a doll's eyes.
Glad Summer could helpfully write Jaws on this box in case you didn't know the reference, but what happens when she decides to do The Englishman Who Went Up the Hill That Came Down a Mountain? Not enough room on the box to explain that reference then. Why would you need these kind of lines in a galactic parking lot? Shouldn't it just be a series of different sized squares for vertical landing and takeoff? Also, what's the deal with these parking lot lights? They're illuminating a building that's already lit up and neglecting the rest of the parking lot.
I mean, it's different from the stuff on Earth.
They have sex dolls on Earth, and something tells me Morty knows way too much about that. Aliens on another planet not only speak perfect English, but their stores have open and close signs written only in English.
Like, what if you passed away or died or something? I wouldn't even have anything to remember all the cool stuff we did, you know?
Remember your late grandfather every time you use your sex robot.
So we're just going to pretend this isn't happening?
Well, now with that attitude, we aren't.
Rick, why would you let Morty bring that thing into our house?
I mean, we know Jerry has no power, but why did Beth allow it in the house? The real question for Rick is, why did you buy that for Morty in the first place? Really, simply drinking from the carton is a sin, but it's doubled when you're drinking from the carton after having sex with an alien robot. Sorry, that's the rules.
Intervening with puberty? You're turning into Ray Fiennes and Red Dragon.
First, it's clearly Ralph Fiennes. I mean, learn to pronounce things. But also referencing Ralph Fiennes from Red Dragon instead of Tom Noonan from Manhunter. Just a few seconds ago, Morty was robo-railing so hard he had the downstairs light swinging. If these knickknacks just stay put on his headboard, I don't even know how they stay put when he's not deep throating.
This thing could grow to the size of Delaware.
Pretending like Delaware is large. Or exists. I've got too many episodes without sitting this, and I can't hold back anymore. That sock has never been moved from that spot in the garage, and it drives me absolutely insane every time I see it. Oh, the therapist will be thankful I don't have to discuss that with her anymore. Portal question 253. If you can't see through the portal, how would this creature know exactly where and how to grab Summer?
Still think it's a good idea to go through holes without a wiener?
Wubba-lubba-dub-dub! Sorry, just always wanted to do that. So maybe a sin on me? That's fair.
Great, now I have to take over a whole planet because of your stupid boobs.
I can't tell if the show is aware and poking fun at victim blaming or just casually using it for a laugh. And considering the damage that kind of thinking does every day, this is either a sin for the show's attitude or the idiots who think this way. Also, watch what you're saying about boobs, mister. Those things are like universally beloved. It goes Tom Hanks, pizza, then boobs. And honestly, Hanks and pizza better watch their back. Why do TV families always store their fruit so close to the floor? Also, storing bananas with your other fruit is a terrible idea. Bananas release a gas that makes other fruit spoil quicker. Crap, that was actually somewhat educational. Bananas look like penises. Save it.
There's your hands.
Title of my sex tape?
And that's how we play handy hands.
Oh, you are going to ruin that kid, Morty.
Could be worse. Could be showing in Caillou.
What's the opposite of wubble hubba dub dubs? Am I right, ladies and gentlemen?
It's bad enough you're breaking the fourth wall, but now you're throwing test questions our way too. I'm tired of Zoom classes. Leave me alone. Having a section of a newspaper simply titled News.
Spider in Sector C is still alive. Plan your route accordingly and expect delays.
So this world's just gonna be a bunch of sexist jokes now? I mean, admittedly super hilarious sexist jokes, like that restaurant that's called Just a Bite of Yours. The weather report said, is anyone else cold or is it just me? Sorry, I mean, that's racist.
Females placed into education program for males. They get to play outside.
The original plot outline for Boss Baby somehow makes its way into this episode.
Yeah, you know what I have to say about that?
Rick survives this fart. Can we talk about these ear arms for a second? We've seen them active, so we know they aren't just vestigial. So how does the musculature work? Part of the reason you can control your arms is in the shoulders and chest. And sure, maybe they have some thick traps hiding under that hair, but what about the pecs? Shouldn't they have some sort of chest muscles where their cheeks would be? And that would mean they would also have boobs there too. 6 arms should mean 6 boobs, damn it. Also, do you know how hard it would be to hold your arms up like that all day? Those arms should be dangling down like flaccid, fleshy earrings. Also, does this mean if they don't apply deodorant, they have BO right next to their nose? This is terrible design, and the god of this universe should be punished to the maximum extent of celestial law.
Is this really the time to make that point, Summer?
Kids.
This is for you, Daddy.
Well, I guess we know where this episode stands in the whole nature versus nurture debate. Good news, parents, what you do doesn't make a difference. Only handcuffing 4 of the 6 arms and doing it via 2 separate handcuff sets with a foot of chain between them and in front of the body. This does nothing.
Look at the tag. Read it.
Where was that tag hiding? And is that really where a tag would be on a top like this?
Mark, Jacob. These are names of the penis.
Look, a lot of what these alien ladies are saying about men is very true. But we give our penises way more interesting names than Mark or Jacob, like Boomerang or Big Rick or Count Schlongula.
If you think my top is cute, you cannot execute.
Johnny Cochran.
Morty Jr. Smoking?
Where did he get the cigarettes? He hasn't gone outside. No one else in the house is a smoker.
I want to masturbate. I want to conquer the planet.
I'll just like this generation to not be able to multitask. Also, this race is so horny they just drop sex robots on them and then have them all impregnated within minutes. So I think his murder boner would be accompanied by a, well, boner. But first, a deep sip from a very tall glass of I told you so. Those are gulps.
That
not
moment.
Sips, you noisy imbiber.
Whoa.
Running wild. Running hot.
Show makes fun of motivating characters with songs, and that is just
Dog,
unacceptable.
I'm watching a YouTube video.
It's just
And
cinematic.
I just dog. Scott, I'm watching a video.
And messages. Messaging.
Scott.
Your horn will stop an alien monster from destroying your
I should say.
I never got that impression from reading Marmaduke.
Well, Joe wants us to believe that a kid in the 2010s would be reading Marmaduke.
See you guys next week. See everybody next week.
This
I don't wanna hear it.
One time, the first time it airs. Unless you're the kind of fan that plays your Blu-rays or streams weekly to be more often.
Leave me alone.
Prove you're a better fan than the rest of us by having weekly
Huh.
viewing parties where you can all quote lines.
I'm
from
listening
the
to
show
the road
and sing
tree, okay?
songs about how great it is.
The gas in your car be like emoji down arrow. Listening to the idol, not the rotary.
Oh, go. gonna go two-stepping. I'm driving with one hand. Oh god, I can't downshift. Okay, okay.